Good evening. Before I start this invitation tonight, I do want to say there's a lot of personal history in this. So if you don't know a lot about me, if you're new here, been here a short time, about my family, you're going to find out about it. Certain parts of this is going to be very hard for me to get through. I'm going to tell you that now. I may have to stop, catch my breath, maybe dry my eyes. You'll know when I get there, I promise. And I may have to just look down and read that part. At the very end of it, though, I tie all of it back into an invitation that I hope and pray is very powerful. If you know me, I do a lot of listening to music as we drive. Several of my invitations have been tied to a song, and my inspiration for this one comes from a song, from a country music song. I've liked the song Then by Brad Paisley for years and years, as long as it's been out. I've listened to it thousands of times over the years, and then probably a couple of months ago, out of nowhere, as thoughts do, I thought, oh wow, how powerful that song would be if I changed the words to it just a little bit. The way the song is originally written, the song Then is actually a love song written by the artist to his wife. The song talks about the first time that the singer met his wife and how he couldn't help but stare, and that 3 weeks later, he just couldn't leave when he was dropping her off and saying goodnight. He hadn't told her yet, but he thought he loved her then. The song goes on to say, I can just see you with our baby on the way. I can just see you when your hair is turning gray. What I can't see is how I'm going to love you more, but I've said that before. Okay, so this tonight is not about a love song, not me up here professing my love for Melissa. Tonight is me hoping that I can have an invitation that will cause someone to consider their life and become a Christian. I want to change the words of that country song from I thought I loved you then to Lord, I thought I loved you then. And I'm going to revisit some personal experiences from my life and then offer a very quick invitation. I started dating Melissa in 1998. What a blessing for me from the Lord to meet her. Lord, I thought I loved you then. In 2001, Melissa and I got married. What a blessing. My thoughts, Lord, I thought I loved you then. In March of 2001, I was baptized. I remember thinking how much I loved the Lord on my baptism day. Lord, I thought I loved you then. In October of 2004, my first child was born. I was filled with pride and joy. Lord, I thought I loved you then. In March of 2008, God blessed us with a second child. And again, Lord, I thought I loved you then. In January of 2011, God blessed us with a third child again. I thought, Lord, I thought I loved you then. Each of these life events made me realize how blessed we are and how much we should love the Lord for all the blessings He gives us. But I go on. In July of 2011, my second child was brought to me purple from head to toe after being underwater in a pool for 2 to 4 minutes. And all I could do was pray to God to let my child live and give him back to me. Then a sound I will never forget from my child, coughing and vomiting up gallons of pool water, happened, and my child was given back to me by God. Surely, after this event, there is no way that I think I could ever love the Lord more. Correct? Wrong. Then 10 years later, that same sweet child comes to me and says, Dad, I want to become a Christian. Lord, I thought I loved you then. This is all of my life experiences that I can use to relate to you, my invitation tonight. So I want to offer one more thought. Please turn in your Bibles to Matthew 25, verses 31 through 34. Matthew 25, verses 31 through 34, and verse 41. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you and from the foundation of the world." Skip down to verse 41. Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels." This parting of those who are going to heaven and those who are going to hell is something that is going to happen. It will be a time when everyone who is going to say to the Lord, "Lord, I thought I loved you then." Some people are going to say that rejoicing as they're walking into heaven. Some people are going to say that begging and pleading with the Lord as they're walking into hell. My question for you tonight is, which group are you in? If you realize tonight that you're not a Christian and you need to be baptized, in just a minute you'll have the chance to come forward and be baptized. Or if you're a Christian and you realize that you've allowed sin into your life and you need prayers for your forgiveness, whatever your needs are, why don't you come while we stand and sing?